Hello guys, this is the SWTOR guy here and welcome back to the new series, Ups and Downs. Let's go. Well, before I'm gonna go in, what is this Ups and Downs are all about? Now, basically, the idea is I'm not gonna like review the patch like in one video or stuff like that. I'm just gonna go with some particular parts are in the patch, which is good or which is bad. Of course, it's kind of like a review thing, but I don't want it to do like that. So I'm just gonna go, if I liked it, I'm gonna give it a like. If I don't, then I'm gonna give it a dislike or a thumbs down or thumbs up. Pretty much that's that. If you like the idea, please smash the thumbs up or do something like that and let me know in the comments at the end. And I don't want to just do it by myself. Hopefully I can get some guests as well in here, but let's just go in to the first ever Ups and Downs. Now let's go in to the main things, which is basically this patch is all about. And that was the 5 new uprisings and the Master Mode chapters. Now, first of all, the Master chapters. I'm gonna give it an up. The reason why if it's up, because it's also another solo content what you can do. And a lot of players like doing solo stuffs, like alone, and particularly the Master Mode can give you that option. Of course you can repeat the story as many times as you can in story and stuffs like that, which is a good thing, but the really good part is you can just simply do these stuffs and pretty much you can do it in Master Mode. Now Veteran Mode is just a big challenge for you. I know it's not much like not the tactics changing or stuffs like that, but still it is a pretty good idea to do it. So for me, it gets an up. Let's go in to the 5 new uprisings. And what are these? So first of all, let's go in to the Trench Runner. The Trench Runner, for me, in overall, it gets a down. Trench Runner, pretty much like, I'm not gonna like wanted to say this, but I say this. It's a lazy work for BioWare. Pretty much, they copy-pasted the Nova operation. They had this bunker, and pretty much they copy-pasted it. And the last boss is pretty much a tank in the third boss area, the puzzle fight. Pretty much it looks the same. And the tactics and things like that, you don't need to require too much stuff. So let's just say, for example, you can have a lot of ads in there. Just pretty much simply kill, get your boosts or adrenals or rocket launcher or grenade or whatever you can have, destroy a lot of ads, defeat the boss, that's it. Pretty much simple and done, less than 10 minutes. So for me, it was a down. But it gets an up as well for the bonus thing, which is you can go in 2 times to a turret to defend the bunker itself to get some reinforcements, because you can go into a turret and destroy some kind of walkers and reinforcements and things like that. I really like that. Even though there was no footage for that one, but that thing is just a really cool idea, and hopefully we can do something like that more. So for me, that was an up. Let's go in to the Destroyer of the Worlds. For me, overall, it gets a down. Like, not the big down as the Trench Runner, because pretty much, again, it's a copy-paste to Macabre, but the idea for at the beginning is really good, and I think it's bugged, the first boss, pretty much, because I soloed it yesterday on my stream. If you didn't watch it, you can check it out in my latest stream. But pretty much the first boss is not much of a big deal, and after that you just need to clear a lot of ads. As soon as you've done that, you're gonna get a double boss fight, and then the last boss, which is not gonna be a big deal. But there is also a but. First of all, in this uprising, it gets an up because there is two new things which were never done before, or kind of never done, but one has done it, but one is never done. First up is the escort. Like, they have never done this before, to escort a droid, like, to a certain place. Like, obviously there was a quest, like, follow that guy, and that's it. But there was never, like, this escort fight where you can just go through a lot of enemies and you need to defend it. That was never done that before, and for me that is an up. And in that up also there is like achievements for it. Basically, if the droid didn't damage or going down, that is basically gets you an achievement. And I think that is just a really cool idea for a lot of achievement hunters and stuff like that, to let the player just go ahead and smash a lot of players or persons and stuff like that. So for me, that was an up. The second up for this is also like you can get certain amount of like these secret crystals, and at the end you will get some kind of boss itself. So that was also a pretty good idea as well. So for me, that also an up as well. But that was it for the Destroyer of the Worlds. Let's move forward. Let's move on to the next surprising, Divided We Fall. For me, that is a massive down. To be perfectly honest, there is nothing else again. Again, a copy-paste thing, which was, I can accept that, but we're gonna have the same amount of things, or items, or enemies, what we can get. Pretty much you're gonna get the boss fight at the end, which was stay away from the fire, which was, like, pretty much at the heroic at the works, and that's it. Simple and done, you got the boss. That is not fun for me. I wanted to go, if I wanted to go into an uprising, I wanted to get some fun in there. Just, this is just my perspective, but I don't know how to say it, but it was like really weird to, like, going into the works again. I mean, it's okay. And the last boss fight was also pretty alright, but after that there is nothing else I can say. So yeah, for me, the uprising in total, that Divided We Fall, it's a down. Let's move on to the next one, which is the Landing Party uprising. The Landing Party in overall, for me, it gets an up. I'm gonna tell you why. Not all of the boss fights get like really good, but first of all, the atmosphere for Rakata Prime is also really good. And finally, the first thing when I realized, it was not a copy-paste. Like, not like copied the map and pasted in here. This was like totally different. We went into a beach just like in the Normandy battle in World War, hopefully II. Hopefully I said that right. So the Normandy fight, the Normandy beach fight and everything. So pretty much that was pretty cool. And you can get, like, at the end of boss, it was a certain amount of items you can get. So you can get turrets, you can get airstrike, you can get whatever you want, and that's it. The boss fights are like primitive. As I say before, the last boss, I'm gonna tell the last boss in a sec, but the first two bosses was just not a big deal. The first one was like a creature with just doing a couple of smash and things like that, and the second one was also not a big deal. So that was like a boss fight doing some kind of stuff. So that's it. But for me, for another up, it gets for the last boss. The last boss is doing something else. Like, not a lot of times they done it. Like, I know these are similar mechanics, but there was just some big areas in story mode as well, which you need to stay away, and that's what I kind of want to see. Not just like the story mode, that's it, you can get it for the role players and stuff like that. It has some kind of challenge in it, and that's what I like. So for me, the last boss also gets an up. And let's move on to the final one, which is the Trial and Error. Now, this one obviously is what a lot of people have been waiting for, because the developers said they're gonna put something in there that they wanted to do it for a long time, and a lot of people called it you can be a ragu, and you can. So, but let's not run through the operation overall, or the uprising overall. It's an up. Let me tell you why. The first boss obviously is not a big deal, because at the time you still need to fight through ads and you still need to defeat the boss. And after that, the boss is just gonna explode, like pretty much going into a reactor or something and blows up. That's it. And we didn't saw what we wanted, so I wanted to see like some kind of ragu change or stuff like that, but it didn't happen. And after that, the second boss fight is one of the most annoying and also really creative boss fights I saw in a long time. Like, literally, that boss fight, like, even you can go through in a ragu if you want, but pretty much you need to go into some kind of these shelves, tables and everything. The bosses are gonna put some kind of traps in there, and they're gonna shock you. And they're gonna shock you like for like 5 seconds or something like that. And if you get shocked, he can also target you with the line technique shot. So pretty much whoever's in that line, they're gonna get damage, and you need to stay away from that. But if you are shocked, obviously you cannot. And there is a lot of like traps in there, because as soon as they are teleporting one place to another, they're putting some shock traps in there, which I really loved, and it was so annoying, so I absolutely loved it. And also there's 2 phases for it, because as soon as you like percent it down to like 10%, they moving back to another room, and which you starting to damaging. At the end, they are just gonna turn themselves into the ragus, and the other one can teleport, like stuffs like that, just like in the previous boss fight, and the other one just smashing a lot. But that was totally fun. So that overall, that boss fight also gives me an up as well. The last boss, not gonna talk too much. There was like a couple of areas you need to walk out. Obviously, she will turn into a ragu, and that's it. The last boss was just a fine boss at the end. But let's not run through. You can turn it into a ragu. So let's just go and talk through that. First of all, that is a big up, for sure. But it was a big deal. The reason why I really liked, because you can turn it into 3 different ragus. So even though you are in DPS or tank, you can, if you are in the ragu version, you can heal, or you can damage, or you can tank as well, which I really loved. I know you don't have much heal and stuffs like that and damage, just like in your character, but that idea in total is just amaze me. Like, this one we have never had before again, and to see that in the even in the boss fight, or even when you just killing the ragus, total, it was really fun. And this is the uprisings what I want to see. So that was definitely fun, and the fun uprisings for me is one of the best ones, and that's why I want to go back there and become a ragul again, or just smashing a lot of raguls, or going into the second boss, which is so annoying. So that was totally, for me, this patch is most highlighted thing, I think, that operation. So that was, as I said, it's an up. So that was it for the uprisings. But what else has happened actually? Before, since we're talking about uprisings, I'm gonna give it a down for not putting the new uprisings into the group finder. Like, how did developers forgotten that? Like, that is just a simple thing to put it into the group finder. And now we just need to do it like the old method to looking for group for the new uprisings, or the destroyer of the world's veteran. We need a tank, we need a healer, which is stuff like that. We are still using it in operations, don't get me wrong, but the uprising should be a big deal. And we just have the previous 5 one in there, and now it's not in the group finder, and it's such a shame for not putting these into the group finder. So yeah, that is a big shame. But it gets another up for one more thing, because the achievements, as I said, it was like a lot of them was like fun, like the turret one, or 2 two other one in the Destroyer of the Worlds. Then some of the achievements are really creative, and the agent, what I'm looking for all the time, I think that is pretty cool as well. So that it gets an up as well. But let's move in to another topic. Let's go to another topic, which is the command boost. Now, how is going on? How is it level up and things like that? Now, they finally put it up to the legacy stuffs in there. So the legacy command boost, and also you can buy it for command tokens. So for me, in total, it gets an up. Not just because they put it in, because it's much easier to level up as well. I went into a GCF fight, and I use this to boost, so the 10% and the 15% boost. So overall it's a 25% boost, and pretty much it was an instant level up, like almost like one level per GCF. So that was in total a massive update. So for me, that, as I said, it gets an up. Let's move into a different topic, which is the gearing system. Now, a lot of people saying it's more confusing to putting back the older system back, a little bit more different stuff, but let's just go in, let's just run through a lot of stuff, because it just, as I said, a lot of things happen. So what I really liked in this, because the operation thing is just the same as before, except we got command tokens now. For me, it gets an up. So to be perfectly honest, not really much change. The only difference now, you can get the gear from the vendors now. The pieces, you can get the pieces from the operations itself, and you can turn them to the vendors. Now, it happened before, so we had tokens and stuff like that as well before, and I think they were bound. Maybe this one's will bound as well. I'm not quite sure, to be perfectly honest, because I not received one. And it works pretty well, to be perfectly honest. So the PvE wise for the gearing, it works pretty well. So that was, as I said, it's an up. The bonus up for this is, they said there will be slightly chances you will receive also different items from different operation or different bosses. So not just the last boss gonna drop, but there is a chance you can get different items from previous bosses. And I went into a Karagas Palace hard mode, so I wanted to see how it goes. And the second boss dropped gloves, 2 pairs of gloves, and the fourth boss dropped offhand as well. So maybe we were really lucky, or maybe we're not, I don't know. And the last boss I was actually couldn't stay there because I needed to go, but it was really excited to like get free tokens and stuff like that. So pretty much you needed like 30-40 command tokens to get those gears, and pretty much you got 140 from 38 gear. So that was pretty cool. I really liked it. So for me, it was an up. Now let's go on to the downside. For PvP wise, the gearing, it gets a down. Not just you need to farm a lot, which also gets a down for putting or giving less whatever components you can get from these. They are giving less, like really not much components for winning, losing. Like you losing a war zone, you get 1 component. Like think about it, if you're losing like 20, you get only 20, and you need 100 for getting the first like simple getting piece of gear, which is like wow. And pretty much they need to fix this, because otherwise a lot of PvPers and GCF players I think are alright. They still gonna play it because they gotta get a lot of XP, command XP for these. But still, I think they need to fix this big time. And that was 2 downs in a row, and the cost for these are also getting a down as well. So that was 3 downs in a row, and I just told everything before like a million times, so I don't want to say it anymore. This is just too much for the players, too much grinding. So for me, overall, it gets a down. Now let's go into another hot topic, which is the cartel market items. Like literally the cartel market items has now a lot of more ripoffs than has before. So for me, in overall, it gets a down. Not just they pretty much ripped off the Nexu and pretty much like 3 or 4 armor set. There is nothing much new stuffs in there. Like a lot of people are getting excited. Maybe the tank, alright. Maybe the arc light whatever vehicle, which is alright. But a lot of people are still going for the Peacemaker, which again you can get it from different packs, which was like much easier and much higher ratios. You can get it there, or I don't know. But still, the cartel market pack in overall, for me, it gets a down, because that cartel market pack was not really good. This stalwart leader, whatever called pack, it's not good at all. But there's 2 things I wanted to get, like in both of them, like just together a big up. First of all, the decorations are actually pretty alright. Like, don't get me wrong, they are still not the best, but the decorations in total, it was actually not that bad, and I wanted to get those because it's really, really cool. And the other 2 thing, which is new, and obviously a lot of people are going for it, which is the Arcount and the Archlight Nova, I think. And pretty much those 2 are just the new items, and the decorations had some kind of new items, or maybe redesigned. There was some redesign there, but in total those items are actually worth to getting. So if you have some kind of spare millions of coins, credits, or whatever to get those 2 items, definitely get it, because they are really, really cool. Now, I wanted to go personal things as well, because there was just a few things that I noticed, and it was like pretty much it deserves a down or a up and things like that. So, first of all, I'm gonna put a down for a lot of new bugs. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, I'm gonna show it to you, the screen right now. Before you see the enemy target, you can see a glowing thing, which is like, I don't know what the hell is that. It never happened before in this game, and I don't know what is that. Like, literally, I don't know. And the loading screen sometimes is really, really weird as well. But maybe that because the alt tab or stuff like that, maybe that is the issue. If it's not, then maybe it's a game bug or something like that. So in totally, for me, it gets a down. But I'm gonna give an up for the players or the community players who had enough to receive rip-off items. Like, for example, Sam in SWTOR Central, he for example just made a video about it, and he just pissed off for the new cartel market items, like in general. Like what he said or what I said, pretty much like 2 free items, which is okay, alright, I wanted to get it. Other than that, it's not worth to open a pack, because it's like he instead he just made a rent like what I did. So link is in the description if you wanted to check it out. Second of all, it just not makes any sense. And finally, someone from the community, so SWTOR CV said it, and a lot of players setting it, the content market items are just getting boring, and you just seeing the same rip-off, same skins. At least they needed to take a break, like a 3-4 month break, until you can get finally fresh new items in there. Check it out, because they are literally out of the ideas. Like the best new idea, it was the flare, and other than that, nothing. When you had the decorations, alright, you can put new decorations in here. You can put NPCs in your stronghold. You can put titles there, which is good, because a lot of people collecting titles. You can get armor sets, which is good, and new mounts, pets, and a lot of more, or emotes, flags, toys, stuffs like that. But they're out of the idea. There is no toys since I don't know how many. Okay, the previous pack they had that, but there was not much toys what you can get from these, and pretty much you get the idea. It's really, really bad cartel market packs in the past, like I'm gonna say past year. Like, the only thing which is good now, and it came out almost like half a year ago, it's the platinum items, which is really, really good, and I really like those. But other than that, nothing else. So guys, that was it for the ups and downs. Probably there is more down and up. In overall, it was, in content-wise, it is a decent update. But in terms of like getting yourself geared, or just the role players getting new items and things like that, it was not a big patch in total. Guys, let me know in the comment section below. I know it's a long video and I'm trying to make it much more shorter, but I wanted to give an explanation behind my ups and downs. So yeah, that was it for this, and I hope you guys did enjoy it. And if you did, smash the thumbs up. Maybe I will do more as soon as like big patches or just patches coming out. So yeah, hope you guys did enjoy it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.